Hey guys, welcome to Earsbuds. So, before Ethan takes us away, I have a couple announcements. One, the website is up. We've reached our patron goal. Now, the whole submitting peer review things, that was a total joke. I did some research in having a legit peer reviewed article. I don't think that's our goals. I don't think that's our ambitions for this. So, but we do have a website, and you can
Are you
check out all
telling
our
me that
information.
you aren't
What?
that you aren't going to design a website solely for my Wikipedia article?
No. But we have all of our information and links on there. And so if you're like, oh man, where do I email them? Or you forget something, you go to earspuds.org. Right there. Everything you need. I just wanted to announce that. That's it. That's all I got. I feel like there's something. Oh, and Ethan is going to go. He hasn't seen it yet, or he hasn't looked through it completely yet. So he's going to go read the About Us section.
Okay, earsbuds.com. Wow. It's currently loading, but I have this wonderful beige landscape ahead of me. Yeah. Meet the team. Ethan Hasenrill is a self-proclaimed media star. He is on popular sites such as Wikipedia. At the age of 2, Ethan knew he wanted to entertain more than just his mother with his antics. Ethan is the co-founder and co-host of the podcast Earsbuds. All true things. That is a sick shirt you got. Okay, let's talk about the saga of the Hershey shirt. Real quick.
Go ahead.
I was probably 11, and I got this Hershey's shirt that I adored, and I wore it for many a year. I got used from, I think it was a Value Village. And this Hershey shirt I've seen on approximately 20 of Isaac's family members throughout the last 5 years when I gave him some of my clothes.
No, it has just been me. I think it's just been me wearing the Hershey shirt. But it's been in a lot of pictures.
I swear Corwin wore it.
Monterey. Oh, Corwin's worn it, and Monterey has worn it.
Yeah.
I still have it.
Yeah, it's like a tradition.
I wore it yesterday. So
it's an awesome shirt.
It's old. Because if you got it from Value Village, it's got to be I'd say 10 plus years.
It's ancient.
Dude. That's insane.
Yeah, I've had it forever, and it's still holding up.
My child will wear it probably. My children, whenever.
Yeah, that needs to be your first baby picture. Has to be them in that shirt.
And just
the time lapse when they grow up.
Yes, but they grow up into the shirt.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
And by the end, it's literally just a pile of rags.
I'm actually, yeah. I'm actually considering this. Dude, that's genius. Okay, all right.
We're making
read
Isaac,
about Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac Soto isn't sure how he got roped into doing a podcast, but he's the co-founder and co-host of the Earsbuds. Ethan says it was all Isaac's idea, but this scares him a little bit. Okay, kind of narcissistic. Isaac is a professional artist since he sold a single piece of artwork. While he wouldn't call himself a starving artist, he admits that he feels that way sometimes. I think these are both very representative of who we are.
I know, completely. They know exactly who we are.
Yeah. I don't really. Okay, so
yeah.
So for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to tell a quick story today.
Okay.
I was. So as you know, I'm a bit of a scientist. I dabble in the scientific arts, if you will.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so I hosted a club fair for a science a science club, basically.
Oh.
And so the whole idea of the club is you're being helped with homework, and it's just kind of a fun thing. Okay. And so at the
nerds
science
helping
club,
non-nerds.
Yeah, it's a good time. And at this science club, I decided it'd be a funny bit if I tried to convince people that we were sponsored by Otter Pops. And so I spent 2 hours today trying to convince people that our science club was sponsored by Otter Pops. I told them we have $125,000 worth of backlog, and we will give it to one person at the end of the year. And then And like, it was psychotic, and I kept on going, and my sister was there, bless her heart, and she's very, very put together, very like one thing after each other, and
the opposite of Ethan.
Yeah, it was just a good time. And so if anyone from the Science Club is listening, we aren't sponsored by Otter Pops, and you won't get $125,000 worth of backlog. So for this episode, I have a format that I would like to just bring to the front. That way we know we have a game plan on what we're about to do. So I'm going to be telling you a little bit about a topic here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to convince you that this topic is important, okay? And then we're going to have a quick back and forth afterwards, because I have a little informational article that we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, look at, and then we're going to have a debate. And so it's...
We're going to have a debate.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You could call it a debate.
I got to wake up. I got to drink more caffeine for this.
We're going to cue some music right now. We're going to get the most dramatic music physically possible. Okay. The auditory medium of music is an ancient tradition that dates back to over 35,000 years ago. Now, there have been many different genres of music throughout the ages. Beginning with ancient chants in unison, eventually harmony was developed. Things began to pick up in what was called the Baroque period, where composers like Bach and Haydn pushed the limits of music with multiple melodies happening at the same time. Then, the classical period brought new forms of music with sonatas and concertos made by Mozart, specializing in highlighting beautiful and complex melodies to listen to. Then, the Romantic period, created single-handedly by Beethoven, allowed listeners to experience complex emotion through creative expression by the performer and the artist alike. Finally, we have the Modern period, which pushes the boundaries of harmony and melody with asymmetrical melodies and chords. Although orchestral music has become less popular, we still use traditions created by composers to create the pop music that you most likely listen to on your 2005 iPod Nano. Pop music began with folk songs and exploded with the composition of early 20th century songs like Fly Me to the Moon. However, an affront to pop music was brewing in New Orleans, Louisiana, 50 years before Fly Me to the Moon was even written. Scandalous and unseemly, ragtime and blues was played by predominantly African-American nightclubs. You can practically hear the light chatter as a muted trumpet wails in the back of a smoke-filled room. Okay, so Isaac, what are your thoughts about the musical genre jazz?
Well, that's a very broad genre.
Be 100% honest.
It depends on what section of jazz we're talking about. Because if it's 100% jazz, it's like, But if it's
what do you mean
other ones,
by 100% jazz?
I'm talking 100% jazz, as in 100% improv and 100% they're playing the piano or whatever instrument they are doing, and they're playing it in such a way as to try to impress all of their other jazz friends, because only their jazz friends will get and appreciate the music. They're basically putting as much technique and creativity in it to where it's not enjoyable to the average listener. It's literally only for jazz people. Does that make sense? I don't like that
I see.
stuff. But dude, Stevie Wonder, if that's considered jazz, bro, that's fire.
That's kind of jazz. He has jazz chords in there.
Stuff like that.
And yeah. Personally, I am a big fan of jazz.
You are a fan
as
of
you
every
know,
jazz.
as
I remember
many of
you
our listeners jazz.
playing stuff in the car for me that sounded like an 8-year-old banging on a piano, and you're like, that technique. Yeah. Oh, it's like, dude.
Oh, ho ho ho! The beautiful tickle the ivories. Yeah. I'm very passionate about jazz.
I felt like the piano was being tickled. That's what it sounded like.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has one of the really, really strange laughs that you hear on
America's it's like you're getting secondhand embarrassment from the piano, and the player would stop because it's making everybody uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then it goes on slightly too long, and everyone else is just looking at them.
And it's kind of like, bruh.
Like, oh, okay. And so the medium of jazz, it is beautiful. It's cool, hip, and deserves more respect. And
I agree in some ways.
You wouldn't expect this, but it's actually the most patriotic form of music. It's the only form of music that was formed. I mean, the only
America.
one that matters in
I was
the
about
United
to
States
say.
of America.
I was about to say. Wait a minute.
Grunge, I don't know. It's kind of mid. It's not really a form of music, I don't think. Isaac is currently Googling what forms of music were made.
Bluegrass. Hey, bluegrass and country. I do not like either, but I know that bluegrass and country started in America.
Your dad loves bluegrass music.
Oh, dude. I mean, he could play on the banjo. Rap started. Listen, rock and roll, Broadway, swing, blues.
Okay, listen.
I'm just saying real quick.
Okay, jazz
That
is blues. I will die on that hill.
Jazz is
but
blues, yes.
I mean, it's the only form of
blues is a
music that
subgenre
actually
of
matters.
jazz. Okay, so you're saying
Yeah,
hip hop
actually,
doesn't matter. Broadway
it's the
doesn't matter,
foundation
Big
of
band
jazz.
doesn't matter.
I'm saying those are all
R&B.
jazz.
Didn't
I'm
R&B
saying.
turn into jazz?
Okay. We
I
will
wrong?
get into this.
We will get into
You
this.
were no, jazz turned into R&B.
No, that's right. Yeah, R&B is another subgenre.
Yeah.
It was like blues, then jazz, then quirky blues.
Yeah, it's like you have like the fancy chords, and then you have like Babyface singing all over it. You know, I freaking
I don't know
love
if we should
Babyface,
cut
dude.
that out or not.
No, we're keeping that in, baby. I practiced for that.
You're the one.
I knew the
editing
Babyface
this
would come
episode,
up. Oh my god, what a good! I think they were the '80s. What a good band. Let's set the scene. Actually, we already set the scene. We're in the back of a smoke-filled room, and there's
Yeah, I was about to say
a muted trumpet
I thought
playing.
the scene was set. We just went way off topic.
Yeah, the scene has been set. So I'm okay for this podcast. I'm gonna gloss over ragtime and like early blues stuff. It's very cool. Basically,
legit.
so jazz started. It happened during slavery times. We are an anti-slavery podcast. We are.
Thanks.
That is one of our
we
foundational
really
beliefs.
I
I just wanted to clarify in case
So
anyone's
this
wondering.
episode's anti-slavery.
So early jazz happened during slavery time. So like they made their own instruments, which is really freaking sick. And then they also used like right out of slavery, they used like less quality instruments because they couldn't afford it because they just got out of slavery, right? And so that's when you see forms of jazz like ragtime. You walk into a saloon and you hear ragtime playing. It's on a out of tune piano, but you hear that,
That's what makes it ragtime.
And so, yeah, it's fun and insanely hard. Massive respect to, I know he's long dead, but Scott Joplin, legend. If only I could do a podcast with Scott Joplin. So we're gonna skip over this early jazz period, and we're gonna go straight into the 1920s. Okay, picture this: it's Prohibition era, and so people are going to speakeasies to drink illegally. Don't break the law, kids. And so they go to the speakeasy, and then they need some music to play. What are they gonna play? Jazz.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where you get, you kind of your classical, like you get. It's still kind of blues. It's like early jazz, and so it's not anything crazy, but like the 12-bar blues is like really popular during this time. 16-bar blues are very popular.
I mean, what else are you gonna play if you're drinking illegally? Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, like hearing like some woman in the background like singing this beautiful song with a piano. Like it's that is the place to be. Actually, fun fact I did learn while researching this episode.
Okay.
So the term jazz was coined by. I love the phrase "coined."
Coined.
Is a good
yeah, because
phrase.
it's like your coin. Yeah. It is
coined.
a phrase. We should coin.
Yeah.
We should coin our podcast.
Eat your spuds coin.
Sense.
Your spuds coin.
We should our first
Our
merch,
Bitcoin.
an earspuds coin.
Earspuds coin.
Oh, a digital coin, like a
Yeah, like an NFT, dude.
No.
Okay.
Stop you right there.
So the term jazz was actually coined by a baseball player in 1912 because like there was.
What's more American?
Yeah, what is more American, baseball
Dude,
and
like,
jazz?
straight up.
I mean, come on.
There's a thing called
Yeah,
the jazz
it's
ball.
like jazz ball, and it's like you throw the ball and it goes back and forth. And he said, "Oh wow, the music is going back and forth."
Oh, it's quirky.
Crazy.
Wow,
It's very quirky.
Is that
I
why
don't-
some people just can't understand it? Because like it's a jazz ball, it's just so hard to like hit. Like, does that make sense? Like, I'm gonna. Stop
It kind
the
of makes sense.
analogy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop the analogy right there.
And so, like, if you imagine, so jazz is kind of different from the other balls because it's actually better. It's actually better because it's difficult to hit. And so that means it's better because in baseball you want to hit the ball and make it go bye-bye.
And then you like run around the bases or something.
This is a really
You
good
get,
analogy.
Like, you get like a touchdown, right? If you steal like home. Yeah.
Yeah, when the ball go bye-bye, you get touchdown.
Yeah, but if like if
I
they
think
catch
that's the
it
rules.
first, that's like a yellow flag, right? If you like, right? Yeah.
I think they changed the rules because I know they were changing the rules recently, and so I think the yellow flag actually happens when the ball goes bye-bye too far.
Oh, okay. People are getting too strong. Like,
Yeah.
bruh. Yellow flag basically means
Yeah.
time to get the roids checked
Yeah.
out. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, the yellow the yellow flag is the roid
steroids check.
flag. That's what they call it. Yeah.
Roid check.
I love baseball. We love
Dude,
baseball.
best sport, dude.
Or
Los
roid
Angeles
ball, as we like to
Beavers,
call it.
Like best team,
Yeah. The Seahawks.
dude.
Yeah.
I really like the Vikings.
I love Seahawks baseball. Yeah. And so after my man coined jazz ball, there was something developed. Not one thing, but basically
Wait,
a
did you
collection
say
of songs.
Coined baseball.
So after this man coined baseball,
You said it again. Was that on purpose?
after this man coined baseball, something was developed called the Great American Songbook. Have you ever heard of this?
After this man coined jazz, right?
After this man coined baseball.
So stupid. It's like the worst bit ever.
Okay, as I was saying, as this man coined baseball, something called the Great American Songbook was developed. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
That's all good.
Like a legit
So it's not like a book, which is dumb. It should be an actual book.
Just like NFTs aren't like art.
Yeah, kind of. Well, so we have a couple options here on this path. And I could either A, continue the analogy with NFTs, or B, explain what it actually is.
get
What would you
done.
like? It's kind of a choose your
Too
own
many
adventure.
analogies.
Please.
Please.
If you click A, how you choose that adventure is you exit out of Spotify. That's actually how you get that ending.
What? I'm gonna choose A.
Okay.
No, B, please. Like, just
Thank you for listening. Okay, so the Great American Songbook. So it's a collection of songs, and that was developed like 1910s, kind of like to 1930s. Mm-hmm. Not an actual book. It's just what they call like this genre of songs. So like, have you ever heard the song "Fly Me to the Moon"?
Yes.
Autumn Leaves,
Yes, I think.
All of Me.
Yes.
Yeah, so like songs like that, you know, where it's like you imagine like just like basically Frank Sinatra, but Frank Sinatra was later.
It's mostly just Frank.
Mostly just Frank. Sinatra was his alter ego.
Wait, what? We're anti-Sinatra, but pro-Frank.
Yeah, Pro Frank podcast. And so like eventually, like this would like you can see like if you go to like music stores, you can see Great American Songbook. That's not. I mean, it's just the collection of songs. It's called the Great American Songbook. Anyways, and so during it is like the 40s onward, probably until like the 70s, there were fake books developed from these songs. And so a fake book is basically someone had Fly Me to the Moon, and then they just wrote some chords underneath it. And it was called a fake book because they didn't have the rights to it. Okay.
Okay.
And so these were like highly illegal because you have like best-selling pop songs and you're reproducing it. So if you wanted to get a fake book in like the 1950s, what you had to do is you literally had to go to a music store and then you would have to bribe someone and then they would bring out the fake book and sell it to you from like the back.
What happens if you go to a music store that doesn't sell fake books and then you try to bribe them? Like,
I don't know. They'll give you an extra guitar pick.
Right. It's like, man, this guy really wants this
Like,
collector guitar pick, dude.
Like, that's kind of strange, yeah.
They give us the Beatles album from the back. They're like, man, I know, dude.
I've been waiting
this
for
is
this.
the Black Market Beatles album. And you're like, what the crap?
Yeah.
Was Beatles even around? No. What? Wow, that joke.
No. This is like this is early. This is like before World War II.
Yeah. I regret.
We mentioned the Beatles a lot on this podcast.
I'm just saying,
The last 3 episodes.
No.
Paul McCartney is still alive, so he should be on the next episode.
He should, yeah. I'll email him.
Okay, good. That'll be the next investigative journalism.
Legitimately.
Email Paul McCartney. And so this fake book, it's illegal, and so people start like it was one sheet at a time. Then eventually people started selling pamphlets and like actual books. But it wasn't really standardized because it wasn't copyrighted. You know, everyone else is producing their own fake book. So now what jazz players use is called the real book.
Oh,
So there's the Great American Songbook, which isn't a book, and there's the fake book, and there's the real book. And so the real book was created by students at the Berklee College of Music, not UC Berkeley, Berklee College of Music in East Coast, Massachusetts. Yeah. And so like they started like trying to get the rights and everything, and then eventually the Hal Leonard Corporation in 2004 started producing real books. And so now you have perfectly licensed, standardized real books that you can play melodies with, which is kind of cool.
so it's like a fake book, but it's like not fake. It's not illegal.
Yeah, it's like you're not. It's like downloading a torrent, like a movie using a torrent versus watching Netflix. You know. Yeah.
Former is better.
And so
that's a joke. Piracy is not a victimless crime.
we are an anti-piracy, anti-slavery podcast.
Dude, pirates are bad. I'm just saying. Like, come on.
Yeah. What's your best pirate accent?
Nope. We've done this before.
I'll do mine.
It did not end well.
I'll do mine.
Nope.
I'll do mine.
Remember that day? Nope. We're not doing that again.
Yar. So using.
I like how it ended after the yar. Like you tried to keep it up, and it just did not work.
Yeah. So, like in jazz, basically, what you do is you use songs from the Great American Songbook, or the real book rather, and then you kind of put your own spin on it. So you use the chords and use the melody, and then you do that. So, using these songs, starting in the 30s, we have the swing period of jazz. And so this had artists like Count Basie, Duke Ellington, you know, those people. You've heard most of those people, right? And so it's Count Basie.
I don't know who Count Basie is.
Okay, well, Duke
Ellington.
Ellington.
Yeah.
Sir Duke.
Yeah.
Sir Duke, Stevie
I-
Wonder.
I-
That's called a callback.
I know Duke Ellington, but I don't know
Yeah, Casey Basie. No,
like
it's
the
Count
baseball
Basie.
player?
So
like a Casey, what's his name? Oh, that's Babe Ruth. What? Moving on. I don't know why I had an absolute brain fart. Oh, jeez.
Babe Ruth is basically Count Basie at this point. So during the swing period, you might have heard of a swing pattern when they play do 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 do.
There is a baseball player called Casey. Casey Struck Out. It's like a famous poem. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. I was not listening to you. I was just in my own world thinking, why did I think of Casey?
Casey.
Can I read this poem, please? It's very short.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay.
Wait, I think it's actually pretty long. I'll read like two like the first and last stanza. Casey at the bat. This is like one of the, if you do not know Ernest Lawrence Thayer, 1863-1940 poet, and you don't know Casey at the bat, I mean, you need to. It is a long poem. But so the outlook wasn't brilliant for Mudville 9 that day. The score stood 4-2, with but one inning more to play. And then, when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. Basically, Casey comes back, and people were like, if only Casey could but get a whack at that. Like, they'd like Casey to hit out. But Flynn came, and then Jimmy Blake. The former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. A grim melancholy sat. First there seemed but little chance.
Hey, can you start rapping this, please?
Getting to the bat. I don't know. Okay, Flynn hit a single to the women of ball, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe as second, and Flynn a hugging third. Okay, so then from 5,000... Anyways, basically, Casey gets up. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. So Casey comes up, they're like, Casey's amazing. And basically, he has to hit the ball, right? And if he gets a home run, they'll get like 3 points, because those two guys will go and he'll go. And I think it's tie or win, and it's like the last inning. So, anyways, and now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. Basically, Casey just stood there, and then on the third one, and now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light, and somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out.
The sneer is gone from Casey's lip, his teeth are clenched with hate. He pounds his cruel violence with his bat upon the plate, and now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Eminem is really writing some bars now.
Anyways,
for those of you who don't know, Eminem is a rapper.
A really anti-Eminem. Continue.
All right, so picture this: 1930s. It's the swing era of jazz, and so they have bands like Duke Ellington. Have you ever heard of Duke Ellington?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, and so basically during this period, you get the classic swing pattern, the do, that thing. And so that kind of has carried out. And so as you listen to me explain this so eloquently, you'll realize that things are slowly building. And so in the 1930s, you get the swing. And then throughout the rest of jazz, you'll kind of hear the swing influence. And so one thing just keeps on adding to another. You can always hear like the blues influence. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. That's
so 40s.
Interesting.
Is the bebop period. So basically, it's faster than jazz, and you start hearing people get really, really good at jazz. And so Miles Davis, you've heard of him. Mm-hmm. So he steps into the scene, a young lad. True story, he actually got booed off the stage the first time he ever performed when he was like 15.
That's a fat rip.
And then, it's fat rip. Fat rip to all the people that could have been to not Count Basie's, to Miles Davis's first concert. Anyways. So 40s, everything's a little bit faster. People basically become virtuosos of jazz because jazz has now been established.
It's now actually more popular.
And then after that, late 40s, kind of 50s era, everyone is coming home from World War II. And so you don't really want this super intense like that thing going on. You don't want that.
Obviously.
You don't want that. You want kind of something a little bit more
PTSD.
Cool, aka cool jazz. So it's kind of slower, and people start experimenting with a little bit more like complicated harmony. It's not insane yet, but have you ever heard of Chet Baker?
No.
Or Dave Brubeck? Chet Baker was like this trumpet player, and so he was famous for playing very sparsely, but very intentional with his notes. Dave Brubeck, he made the song Take 5. Very good song. And then Miles Davis is also during this period. And Miles Davis will be here until the 80s.
Okay.
And during this time, people start doing drugs with jazz. So people
really dropped that one. Okay.
I'm just saying this because
historically, right.
As you can see, as more drugs get introduced, the wilder it gets. And so 40s, people actually start doing it. So Chet Baker was addicted to cocaine for a long time.
That's sad.
And that's actually how he died, which is sad.
Dr. Pepper, guys,
and then,
not Coke. That's all I gotta say.
Diet Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Diet Pepper.
Dr. What? Why did you just say it again?
Diet Pepper. Okay. So after cool jazz, people are getting wild, and so now we had bebop, and now it's hard bop. Okay, and so this is when people get people get wild with it. Okay, it gets super fast, and people were insane virtuosos. This is my personal favorite period of jazz because it has influence from the bebop and cool jazz. But there's also kind of like Latin pieces, and so I guess it's kind of more bossa nova, but like "Girl from Ipanema." Have you ever heard that song?
I have no
Darling,
idea
then young and lovely that. Yeah, the Frank Sinatra
Oh,
song.
I've heard it. I've heard it.
Yeah. So it's kind of like there's kind of a spectrum now. There's this intense stuff, and then there's kind of a more Latin, like South American thing, which is cool. I like that.
Pretty cool.
And so again, Miles Davis pushes the bar with this insane, and then jazz kind of took a turn more towards hard bop, and they started using like electronic instruments more. So this is the late 60s, 70s, and so it kind of combined like rock and funk, and so we created the fusion era of jazz.
Okay.
And so people are getting kind of weird with it. It's kind of weird. Like the most influential people during this era were, of course, Miles Davis, and then people who played with Miles Davis. So Chick Corea, he was the pianist for Miles Davis for a while, and also Herbie Hancock was also the pianist for Miles Davis for a while. Yeah.
With herpes.
I love Herbie.
Herbie Hancock.
I need to see him before he goes. Yeah. He's like 88, dude. It's like, it's sad.
Words.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Did you not hear what I said the last like 2 times?
Yeah.
Herpy
I've been ignoring it.
Oh, okay.
Herbie Hancock is my favorite. Yeah.
Herpy.
And true story, I almost saw Chick Corea one time, but I didn't get around to it. And then like the next month he died.
Oh no.
And that was
I remember you
saddest.
telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very sad. And then 80s onward is modern jazz. And so it's gone kind of a few directions. During the 90s, people were into smooth jazz, which I don't understand. Kenny G weirds me out. And then like now people are kind of going back to bebop fusion. There hasn't really been like a whole title shift yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so jazz has been a developed art form for about 100 years now, and it's had influence in modern music. So like hip hop uses jazz chords. If you listen to like modern classical music, they have like some like funky like it's called like atonal like chords in it. It's kind of interesting. And then like right now, last year, Bruno Mars released the album Silk Sonic, which had a lot of jazz like influences. It's cool. I like that. With all this, what do you now think of jazz? What are your thoughts? How much do you love jazz now?
I think it's interesting. I think I have more of an understanding of its origins, but I think I still have the same appreciation and view on it.
So you don't think the fact that they had to bribe people to buy fake books in the back of music stores in order to play this scandalous art form, you don't think that's cool?
That's cool, but like...
It's hype.
I have more respect for jazz in the past now than I did, but...
Really? Okay. So you have more respect, though. It's been a net positive.
Yeah,
it's been a net positive.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to listen to it more. But...
So the next 3 hours of this podcast are going to be us listening to different clips of jazz. And so we can skip right through that. And then, so after you've learned to appreciate jazz, and I've shown you all these clips, have you ever heard of scatting? Do you know what scatting is?
Scatting.
You know, like when jazz singers go up and they go shibbly boop bop 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 doodle bay.
Oh yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
So that's scatting.
It's like the shibbida bada and then boom. You know what I'm talking about?
Shibbly boop bop 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 bay. Okay, now I want to hear your best scat. I want to hear your best scat right now.
Can we put
You're at a nightclub and yeah. Okay, so in the background, I'm gonna play some like smooth blues.
Alright, so like smooth blues.
Okay.
So I step up to the mic. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, God, I can't. That sounds racist.
No, you don't need to do.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
You're not an auctioneer. What the heck?
I don't know.
9, go 9, 9, 9, 9, go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Oh, sold 20 cattle to Kenny.
Okay, so smooth jazz, not the like hard stuff when they're doing drugs. Okay.
No, I just want to hear you scat. Like, okay, I'll go first. I'll give you an example.
You go first.
Shibbity boop bop bay, shibbada bop bop dee da bop dee da. Very good. Very good.
Sounds like a Star
You're
Wars
already a
character.
jazz legend. Yeah. Yeah. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go through, I have a little tutorial here.
On scatting?
On how to improve our scatting ability.
Oh, so we're going to before and after. Okay.
Yeah.
I got this. Okay.
Yeah. So, I've done a lot of talking. I think it's about your time. Do some talking.
Okay, so I need to read this out.
Yeah, so right now we're on the best website on the internet besides Wikipedia, WikiHow.
Yeah.
And so we have an article called Getting Used to Scatting. And I'm just
Okay.
going to take it away.
So, number 1. Use improvised syllables and sounds to scat. I can't get over the word scatting. I'm sorry. It's just obviously.
Scat.
That's some scat on that ground. I'm gonna track this animal because of its scat.
Okay, anyways. Over instrumental tracks. So we already did that, you know, whap, bap, dip, boop, dappa, you know, random syllables. Practice call and responses with scat singers and instrumental lines. Oh, okay.
Oh.
You need to use your voice.
Do you want to do a call?
But as an instrument.
We should do a call and response.
Do you want to do that? How about you get the setup and I'll keep reading. Start with simple rhythmic syllables, focusing on melody instead of new sounds. As you begin improvising your own scatted lines, start with a couple of accepted scat words and syllables. Simple percussive noises are the easiest way to start, using sounds like bop, beep, ski, do. do, re, mi,
Bop beep
fa,
skidoo,
sol, la,
bop beep
ti,
skidoo,
do.
bop beep skidoo, bop beep
Accent,
skidoo.
modulate, and have fun with your syllables.
Bop beep
Practice with
skidoo,
metronome.
bop beep skidoo.
Bow, wow, wow, stack up.
Okay.
Introduce a little rhythmic variety with duplets and triplets. Duplets
Bop,
are simple two
skidoo, bop,
sounds thrown together
skidoo,
like
bop, beep.
da-da or beep-da-bop. Learn the chord progressions to improve like a jazz singer. So just learn jazz chord progressions. Scat through your vocal solos to bridge classical singing and scatting. And get a little weird with tone, voice, and coloring. Oh, wah, bah, wah, wah, wah. Listen to Ellie Fitzgerald closing out tenderly a dear, calm, and loving song with deep and almost monstrous scat sound, and yet it fits. Interesting. Wow, bamba.
Wow, stupid you babe.
Wow, bamba.
Okay.
We
So
need to have like
I think when you
jazz music
practice
playing this entire time over the
yes.
We need to practice some.
So let's do a little bit of call and response.
call and response.
So I'll do I'll do a couple bars and then you'll pick it up.
I'll practice.
And then I'll do a
it.
couple
So
bars.
I have to copy. You.
Well, we're both practicing. No.
No,
So,
so
like,
like
I
this step is about copying. Copy your favorite singer.
Okay, so do you want to copy my scats or should I copy
Yeah.
yours?
I'm gonna copy yours. I'm gonna try to verbatim copy.
Okay. Ready? Bopski babadoop badidoo babe.
Bopski bapadoo ba bay.
Very good.
That was really close. I have no idea.
That was really good. Actually.
I'm a scatter, dude. I'm scatting all over the place.
Okay, yeah.
No, what did you doing?
Badoo. Bow wa ba dow. Wa ba. Wa ba ba da boo. Da bow wee. Ski bop. Snap ba 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 da wa dow. Okay, we're done.
Wow. I can hear the improvement already.
What?
You're a
actually
professional
a
scatter.
Should I release? Should we make a Patreon goal of $15 and I release a full 2 minutes of me scatting to royalty-free jazz?
Yes.
Should we do that? Okay. All right.
Yeah, another episode of
Okay.
Isaac and Ethan
New
begging
Patreon
for
goal.
money.
Isaac will scat to release really horrible music. We need to have an earbuds
Earbuds
Spotify
music.
account for music.
Yeah.
Just like earbuds music.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
Yeah.
please. $20 Patreon goal, y'all. Isaac will scat for 2 minutes. I will put my soul into this. I will look up scatting.
You
and
will
I will
do the
actually go through these
research.
steps in practice. And I will make a scatting album. We will I will do the scatting music, but it will only be released to Brotatoes on our Patreon, which
Yeah.
is a $3 pledge. Yeah, I'll do that. The scatting song will be a patron only content,
Yeah.
which we don't want to have too much of, guys.
Yeah, we will release the
Yeah.
Isaac Soto scatting EP. What do you think? What do you think you would call it? What's your EP
To
album?
scat or not to scat. A scat in time. Scatting across the universe. Hold up. I got another. Scatting free. Non-conformitist scatting. Scatting outside the box.
Men in scat.
Beyond borders of scat. Bare naked scat.
Scat and afraid.
I have to name it that now. Scat and afraid. Scatterology.
Scatalingus. Yeah, there's.
Okay. Oh, what the? You just said that and kept talking like it's scatterology. Okay, yeah.
That's my new favorite bit. I love just saying things that don't make sense and then acting like they're normal and waiting for people to answer. Yeah.
I really liked it. I liked the part in the third episode or something where I was like, "Oh yeah, you had one," and then I asked the next question and you just lost it.
I literally destroyed the microphone.
Okay.
We apologize for that.
Scat. It's not.
Chap scat.
Get it? Because like my lips chap. Scat.
Okay.
Okay.
There are many.
There's
There are a lot of
in
bloopers.
this episode.
I feel like we can keep a majority of
love
this
it.
in. Yeah. But yeah.
I think I might be a jazz vocalist.
Yeah.
Dude. Like I enjoy
So we turned you
jazz.
from
I love
hating
it.
jazz to professional jazz vocalist. Because you are being paid for it.
I know. Like I don't know, dude. I'm being
Yeah.
paid for this. Well, I might be being paid. Hurry up, gal. Dude, what in the world? Okay, I do wonder how my wife feels because I'm like, I'm going to record a podcast. And, you know, normal talking. And then it gets into like 20 minutes of wabba-dabba-da, like, with no explanation.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of juice this
stuff,
time.
and I'm all I'm going to say.
You're not getting juice, you're getting freaking Gatorade.
A lot of, you say jazz.
That was the dumbest statement I've ever said.
I was just saying they were getting jazz.
Hey guys, I really want to thank you for listening to this episode.
No, you got dumb ones. What are you talking about? Oh, we don't have anything else. That's it? We've just been...
I like how
oh,
we've been
dang.
recording. Because I got some more if you want. So, one of our first question, this was a while ago, and we just haven't had time to fit it in, was submitted by an anonymous user, and he's asking how to make
we're gonna answer this? Okay.
some friends, some guy friends. Yeah, some ideas. Let's just do fast brainstorming idea.
We literally read a WikiHow today on how to do that. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah,
You scat, man, they will come to you.
that's what I've always said, and you know that. If you scat,
That's
they
actually
will
true.
come to you. They will come to you.
Scatters got game, dude.
Scatters got game, and they got friends. And that's what we're all looking for. Company.
I mean, Ethan scats, and he has me. So, like, you know.
Yeah, that's actually how we met.
You
We met
scat.
at a jazz
You don't
club.
actually- No, we did not.
We, I was scatting to the song, "Fly Me to the Moon."
We met on a
and-
car ride, actually.
Actually, no, we didn't. We met at church.
Oh, that's true. We met at a
And I was-
class, and I thought Ethan was a teacher's assistant because he was 12 and like 6'2".
Yeah, yeah,
Anyways, moving on.
yeah.
Scat.
So we got scatting. What I think you should do is you should. So you know they make like shirts, like T-shirts with pockets, in the front.
Yeah, and like buttons up the side, like flannel.
Yeah.
Wear flannel. Just wear flannel. Wear more flannel.
No. I think what you should do
No,
is,
sorry.
I mean, it could be flannel, but you should just keep a little stash of like snacks in there, and then hand it out to your friends. Just like, hey, want some
Boom.
Snickers? Yeah, fun
Bribe.
size.
If nothing else works, bribes always work. You
Yeah.
might get a fake book, but you also might get a friend.
Yeah,
That's what I call a throwback.
I started giving the people at my local music store Snickers bars out of my pockets, and they looked at me really weird.
Because I thought you were getting a fake book.
Yeah, I thought that's how it worked, but it's not.
You know
They
what
actually
they
prefer
say.
Hershey's,
You know what they say? Snickers.
and that's what we like to call the
Snicker-
stab and twist in comedy.
What?
Because I said that they didn't.
That was like
they
a stab and
prefer-
twist with like a spoon.
It was a stab and twist with a spork. At least,
Maybe
give me
like,
some credit.
Maybe like a teaspoon or tablespoon. Not even like one of the spoons that have like a more like edge. Because you know, like a tablespoon curves up and it kind of like is a blunt thing. Like the handle of a tablespoon. Maybe like the handle of like a measuring cup. I think that really was like a stab with like a blunt stick, like a log, but it's not like really like a bludgeon. It's more of like a little poke.
You know what they call what you're doing right now?
Over
It's called the stab yourself, because that's what I want to do right now.
It's called the stab and twist and twist and twist.
It's called the stab
Stab
32
tornado.
times in the chest.
We're gonna have to make this explicit content in this episode. We talk about stabbing so much. This is all comedy analogy, okay? Dude,
Yeah,
one of my favorite
this is
comedy
all
analogy,
alleged.
Dude, like rip the head off and throw it in a garbage disposal. I mean, come on, that's amazing.
Oh, that is comedy gold, dude. You know what my favorite type of comedy is? Anything where they mention killing orphans.
Stop.
Why are you laughing, you monster? What is wrong with you? Orphans are children. Just because they don't have parents
If
doesn't
you
mean they
put
don't.
this in on the first edit, I'm taking it out. I don't care. There's no way.
As I said, this is a hostile takeover.
This is communist until it's not.
Hey guys. Okay, hold on. That was way too fast.
Hold just a minute. I just scattered all over you guys.
Oh my gosh.
That's called the stab and the twist and the scat, dude.
That's called this. The good old stab and scat.
the scat and twist. What are we gonna call this episode? We seriously need a name for it. Anyways,
No, the scat and twist is what they call a prostate exam.
for our male audience out there. Oh no.
Okay. Like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day. Just like jazz wasn't built in a day.
Years.
So, with this deep analogy, we would like to present to you Rome, which is the end of this episode. Thank you guys for listening.
What?
Listen to our... This is Rome right now. Don't interrupt Rome, otherwise they will invade you. We haven't got to the part where Rome collapses. Actually, maybe this is Rome collapsing. Guys, please...
We've collapsed a long time ago.
Please subscribe. Actually, leave us ratings. That actually helps quite a bit. That'd be sick. Check out our website
we really,
and feedback.
Just tell us we suck. Tell us what you didn't like. We don't care. We
Yeah.
need it.
Tell us you hated this episode. Actually, no, what you do...
It's okay. It's okay. Ethan loved this episode, so you can say whatever you want about it.
What you can do is leave a 5-star rating, but then in the comments, describe how much
Say
you hate the
multiple
episode.
things.
That way it kind of
Yeah,
balances
yeah.
itself out. And then
Yeah,
it's like
that's
you're not doing anything, you know?
Also, send us more questions. And
Yeah,
go to
more
our website.
questions.
If you ever need anything that we forget to post in the podcast details.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys in the next upcoming episode, next Monday. Peace.